Yeah, I guess the future will be televised. You within range of your greatness, graciously be advised. We tapped into inspiration, generational kind, and moving mountains for the gems they could never find. We take the dive a little deeper every single time. We let the art in every single thing they go behind. In every scene to bring the greatness out. Whatever it is, please just make it count. Then tell the story to the world when you make it out. You are now within range. You are now within range. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all.
You are now within range. You are now within range.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Dom Juan, Jared Suter, Eargawd. All three of the boys are on for this one.
Yes, sir.
It's always a special night when we get us all.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So the guest we have on today is someone we've been following for quite some time now. He's had a hell of a buzz lately.
Big time.
Sizzling.
Yeah, interviews, magazine articles, music videos, promos. I mean, he markets himself pretty well, boys, I would say.
Extremely well. Working with some big names, dude.
If you know, you know, all right? Performing in different places. We've also learned, and we're going to talk about it, that we're talking deep roots in West Coast hip-hop. You see the shirt I'm wearing? We'll get to it. But videos, some of his videos have crazy numbers. We've actually featured one of his tracks, guys, on our Fucks With Him Friday. Mm-hmm. If you guys remember, we did that. But ladies and gentlemen, representing the West Coast, Mr. Hopped Up on the 10 and headed downtown. Compton, California's very own Sir Will's in the building today.
Man, that intro. Come on.
Hey, man, thank you for
Let's
joining
go.
us. Dude.
That was a good one.
Dude.
I sound like somebody.
Hey, you are somebody, dude.
You are somebody for
You
sure.
are somebody.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Man, so Will, let's get started, man. Let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
Compton,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
A well-known place that a lot of people know about.
Some people know, some people.
You know, I mean, straight out of Compton might have had something to do with that. But talk to us just about, you know, growing up in Compton and what that was like.
Yeah, man, like, you know, you don't really understand the magnitude of Compton like that till you leave. You know, because
that's a good point.
for you, it's just, you living. You
just
know what I
every
mean?
day.
It's every day. You
Wow.
feel me? So, it to me was, you know, once you kind of leave, then you understand, like, man, this was kind of a little crazy. That's not normal.
And legendary
Legendary,
too,
of
on
course.
top of that, yeah.
Of course, but it's you learn like what the kind of circumstances that you kind of go through is not normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hopping on the school bus, walking to school, you know, we did all that. The biggest difference was, you know, the crazy things you would see walking 2 miles away. You know,
Just 2 miles.
That 2 mile,
Wow.
that 1-2 mile walk to school was, you know, you might see a dead body, you might hear some shots, you might, you know what I mean? Like you might, you know, you learn, you know, the people on drugs, you see them and they know you because they went to school with your parents.
Oh, my God.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you seen them as, you know, in our neighborhoods, like you called them auntie and uncle, like, cause everybody was your auntie and uncle, like your
Yeah.
dad's friends and,
Yeah.
you know, but you saw the struggle, but you know, you treated them normal because they knew who you were, but you kind of knew the circumstance and how it was.
Right.
So you kind of grow up quick. You feel me? So
sure.
as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, you know, I'm walking to the store. I'm picking up cigarettes from my mom. You know,
Right.
back
Here
in
you go.
the day,
Run to the store. Bring
Exactly.
me my change
DoorDash.
back.
The
Bring me
original
bring my
DoorDash.
change back, and you just pull up to the store with the note that your mom wrote. But the owners of the stores, they knew
They
you
knew
because
you.
they knew
Yeah.
your family,
Wow.
because your family used to run to the store. You know, so my upbringing was like that. I was lucky though. I had both parents. You know, my parents been married. You know, 40-something years.
Wow.
So
I mean,
you know,
you
I
know,
had
it's a
to
long time.
borrow a dad. Like people used to borrow my dad because
Yeah.
it wasn't normal for you to have both parents. You feel me? But I was lucky. I had I'm the youngest of 3, and I had both parents in my life, so I had a different upbringing. You know, I could say I was a little bit of ahead. You know,
Yeah.
But other than that, man, we had fireworks, burning down the trees on 4th of July, with the, shooting.
Too dry out there, man.
exactly.
It's too dry. Can't
We're
even do
shooting the
it.
fireworks where you're not supposed to. Like it was normal. But music caught my eye, at a real early age. If people know who DJ Quick is, he's our legend. He's like God to us, right?
Yeah.
And we had block parties every single summer. So every summer we had block parties, and DJ Quick was performing at this block party.
A day in the life of a player named Quick.
Yes,
Man.
I was singing.
Legendary.
Can you cuss on here?
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Say
yeah.
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
man.
I was singing "Sweet Black Pussy" and I shit the bed. My mom got my ass whooped. I was singing all the words. I knew every word. But yeah, so this year we didn't know Quick. They didn't tell you Quick. It was always some kind of surprise that you just never know who would pull up. And this year,
Wow.
they had to come to our garage because our house was right in front of where the block party was. So they have the street blocked off, police out, everything, make sure everything, went as accordingly and safe, whatever. But they hooked up their equipment to our garage.
Wow.
So they hooking up the equipment to our garage. We just sitting there normal, just
You were
not
enjoying.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Headquarters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're not knowing really what's going on. Then this white van pulls up, and all the people just kind of move out the way. White van pulls up, and then Quick, I can't even remember the song because I was so at awe. Then the song jumped. Quick jumps out the van, hops on top of the van, and just starts rocking the crowd. And I'm sitting there just looking up at him I think I'm 4 years old or something. Ooh. And I never forget that day. That changed my life. I was like, that's what I want to do right there. And that was it for me. It was I don't want to do nothing else but that.
You knew it.
Wow. Yeah, I knew it.
From 4 years old. That's crazy. I mean, those are early memories. I mean,
Right.
5, 6, I get that, but 4 is that made an imprint on you.
It made an imprint to
Quintessential,
where
yeah.
I knew it. It was it was because we was already listening to Quick, you know what I mean? Back then it was the tapes.
Yeah.
So the tapes going around the neighborhoods, and that's all my sister was playing. I have an older sister and an older brother, so this is all we already playing, and it's Compton. So we're hearing that music before anybody else because he's there. You feel me? So that changed my life.
And from what I know too, I think another point from what I read that might have changed your life is when I think your dad started taking you serious, and that was when you dropped The Little Most Wanted.
Come on, bro. You doing your homework like that? Come on.
I might have heard something
impressed.
about that.
I'm impressed. Yeah, man. First I was writing trash bars like we all start, right? But I knew I had a gift because I was the kid. My mom used to tell me to shut up all the time because I would hear songs on the radio, but I knew them way too quick. And my mom would be like, "Man, how you?" My mind I just caught on to stuff so fast. Yeah. And I hear it a few times now. I'm rapping the whole song. And so I start doing talent shows, things like that. I wasn't Michael Jackson. I was Tito. I won't lie. I was Tito.
It takes a real man to admit that. Okay,
I was
all
Tito.
right?
I
He
was Mike.
Tito.
So we had
Rush Hour 2, and he's like, no. I'm Michael Jackson. You Tito.
Yeah. So I was Tito. I was supporting cast. So I wasn't Michael. But we was doing talent shows early age, and I was already ready for the stage. I had no nervous bone in my body. I loved it. So I was writing rhymes and things like that. And then when I was 5th grade, 6th grade, I recorded a song on my tape player, called The Little Most Wanted. One side you press record, you record it. Then you got to do your backups, you press record. So by the time you're done, it sounds horrible, right? You lose the quality. You lose the quality. But I had people come to my house bro, let me hear that song again. I was at school letting people hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever
The word got out.
The word got out.
It starts.
And what was dope is, and it's just certain memories, you never forget.
Absolutely.
Just like the Quick one, I had another one. So it was a talent show, and we had rehearsal. So everybody, we go to this classroom after school to go to rehearsal. And this is basically tryouts. Everybody, you don't got to really try out. Everybody gets in.
The audition.
Exactly, the audition.
Yeah.
So we go, and we sitting there. When I walk in, the whole school is there. Not everybody's coming to, really audition. They just want to come and make fun of people and see.
Clown.
It's like an Apollo. It's like a night at the Apollo type of thing. Yeah, you're just about to get
Watching
roasted.
the American Idol edition.
Exactly.
That's the fun of
But
it.
it's all your classmates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All your peers.
Exactly.
200 times worse.
So we had a bunch of people whose names were on audition, and they just walked out
I'm
because
sure,
they were
dude.
No,
The
everybody's
BGs were coming in.
Exactly. The
What
bubble
were they
guts
doing?
came to the
Were they
top.
going to do the Happy Hands Club from Napoleon Dynamite or something?
Exactly. So they're all there, and I'm sitting there oh, cool. And I'm already the cocky, confident one. I'm oh, this is my time to show everybody I'm him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm not. Everybody's doing, cover. And this is 5th, 6th grade. You're just, you're doing someone else's song that's popular.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing my song.
Original music, yeah.
I'm playing the instrumental that I found online. I mean, from some CD I had. Back in the day when they used to have a single, they had the single and the instrumental on that single on that CD. Yeah. So I had a song, and it was Roscoe, who is, I think he's Corrupt's, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Corrupt's brother. Oh, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
It was a CD that he had, and it was
I love straight West Coast music.
Straight West Coast.
Yeah.
This is all you get
quintessential.
And I can't even tell you how I got this CD. I think my brother left it in the house or something.
That's a story
that
in itself.
Was the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, Blood, Sugar, Sex Magic. That was just in my house as a kid. I don't know how it got there, but it just appeared there on the shelf.
Don't know. It's like Cruising USA on Dreamcast. That game just popped up in my house, and I just played that shit every day.
No arcade ever installed it either. It was just there. They opened it, they bought the place. See what I mean? Cruising USA's there. Yeah,
it's just there. So
existed.
Same with this. God dropped it down. So the Big Bang. That's what I made the Lil Most Wanted off of this song.
Wow.
So when I'm performing, I'm playing. I go just play the instrumental. This is not, you don't have no show mix. We don't know how to do none of this. We're just playing. Here's the instrumental. Go to track 2.
Yeah, hey DJ. Yeah.
Go to track 2.
None of that.
So the whole class is there. I get there, and everybody's like quiet, and I'm up there rocking this shit. I'm moving. I'm in front of the classmates and rapping. I'm doing this, and this is, I'm walking through the deciles. I'm doing all of this. And then all of a sudden at the end, I start dancing, get my walk on at the end. And then all the class just goes crazy. I mean, everybody, the whole school, everybody just goes crazy.
Is there a video of this?
No, it's not. Because this is like you wasn't walking around with
Hey, someone might have had the camera like this, though.
And
on
we're
the
all
shoulder.
5th and 6th grade. So
Right.
your parents not even letting you take this shit. Right. This not leaving the house.
I think that needs to be appreciated. You're making music on tapes, getting this from CDs. Who that is actually having an impact today, like in the scene out here, was making music on tapes like that early back in.
True.
Not a small percentage, dude. That's a different view.
It is. So, I rocked it, and then I told my dad, I'm like, hey man, like they loving this, they like this song, and he's like, whatever.
Pop's always the first to say something.
Whatever, get your ass. You about to go play video games. I'm like, I can really rap for real. So the talent show comes. I'm gonna get y'all the good and the bad. Okay. Because I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. I'm gonna keep the shit within range.
We appreciate that, dude.
Fire that.
We appreciate that.
So I'm on stage, right? So I'm on stage. Song comes on. I got my mic. So what happened was, I remember like yesterday, I get there and they're like, hey, the wireless mic, the batteries are dead and we don't have no batteries. All we have is the wired mic.
You going acapella?
Okay. And no, we only got the wired mic.
Gotcha.
So you gotta walk around. You gotta walk around with this shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm like, I gotta get my walk on. I gotta do this. And in my mind, I'm only in the 5th, 6th grade. I'm like, I know I've seen this on TV. I gotta jump off the stage, walk in the crowd and rap. I'm already prepared for this shit. And I'm like, this is fucking up my whole thing. Right?
This is where the artist shit really comes in.
Exactly. So I'm standing on stage. I'm getting ready to go on stage. And then they come to me right before I go on stage. They're like, hey, the mic is working. You're good. They hand me the wireless mic. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm about to kill this shit. You know what I'm saying? Give me the mic. Music comes on. I start rapping, start doing my song. I'm the little most wanted that you see in the streets. I'm the little most wanted that's rolling in the Jeep. Like, I'm doing it. Mic cuts off.
No.
Because it had low batteries, but they're like, it works now.
Someone took it out of the TV remote. I know that move. You take it out, put it in the game.
Put that shit in the freezer.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the freezer. Exactly. Yeah.
So the mic cuts off. I am mad. I walk off stage. I'm amateur, so I don't know. Like, I walk off stage pissed off. I'm so mad. I walk off stage pissed off.
Like, I'm a studio artist. I don't do live shows.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm so mad. So pissed off. And so then I go to the side. I'm mad. They come back out. They come, and then you hear, my rap name was T Will back then. So that was T Will. You hear all of the studio crowd, T Will, shouting my name.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is dope. So then they're like, run it back, and they give me the wired mic, and I had to do. So I go out
the
there.
teachers are like, yo,
Yep.
Mr.
You were whipping
Smith,
that thing around stage like James Brown, I bet, dude. Yeah.
So I'm rocking it, and then at the end when I get my walk on, I drop the mic, go into the crowd, start dancing with, you know what I mean? Then hop back on stage, start dancing, whole crowd jump up and down, going crazy. And my dad wasn't at the show and was like, okay, we can do something.
Okay, he took you serious. At
Yeah,
that
I'm
point.
sorry. I gotta go into give y'all every detail when I'm telling
that's
these
incredible,
stories.
man.
But yeah, that's really
awesome.
what happened.
If YouTube had been a thing back then, he would have got the camera. He'd be like the podcaster YouTube channel kid.
Yep, I would have
exactly.
got a million views or something, man.
We gotta get
jump.
you going. Yeah.
Man. Well, I think it's obvious, man. I mean, you talked about being able to see DJ Quick perform when you were 4 or 5. I also learned, you see the shirt today, your cousin produced a song for the Eazy-E.
Yes, sir.
Please tell us about this.
Look, man, so my cousin, his name's Rhythm D. And as a kid growing up, I knew who he was. But we had family reunions every year, but his ass would never be there because he would be on the road. He'd be working and stuff. And then I later on found out like he produced real motherfucking G's for Eazy-E.
Dude, and what a legendary song for Eazy. I mean, one of his most notable.
Not just any.
That beat is hard. Calm, John.
So when you hear that calm, when you hear that calm, John, there's a person that blows the smoke into the video. That's my cousin. He's also the producer, so he's the one that's blowing the smoke in the video.
In the video, yeah. That's
so like
so
him,
dope.
I was gonna say. So him and
do the edit. We'll pull it up.
So him and Eazy are like that was like his brother. Like what's funny though, and I got to give you the backstory is that my cousin was actually one of the first ever producers for Death Row. So he's in Tupac's book. So he worked with Tupac.
What?
Yeah. He's not just some average dude that got lucky once. Like he was one of Death Row's. He's before Dre. He's before Dre.
So he knew
Death Row.
Suge even before that.
Yes, like he ran around with shit. Like he would be, man, if you sit in the room with him and you hear this fucking stories about how crazy Suge really is, like he'll tell you. Like
can we get him on the pod?
Listen, bro. That's my cousin. I talk to him like 3 times a week. That's like it's not like a long distance cousin. I never talk to like this.
Not the cousins and uncles and aunties you saw around the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The 4 times removed.
My biggest single, Wait Up, is produced by him.
Oh, dude, great track.
He produced
Yeah, he produced Wait Up. So that's my, that's family. Yeah, so he was one of the first producers on Death Row. So what's funny is about that, he produced for Tupac, but after that he produced for Snoop. He produced him and DJ Battle Cat. They grew up together.
Wow.
So Battle Cat, and I'll let him tell those stories, but Battle Cat, Rhythm D, DJ Quick, they would all be in a room together.
Oh my God.
Making beats. This is before like any of them pop. My cousin, and I'll gloat for him a little bit, he was the first one to pop. He created the song The Ditty. If you remember that song.
I don't know if
you look it up, look it up, The Ditty by Paperboy. That was a big West Coast song, real big West Coast song, and that's like on Soul Train. It was a big song. Yeah. He produced that, so he was the first one.
Watching Soul Train earlier.
So that's before my time. Like that's before my time, but I know my research. I've done my research, but yeah, that he produced that record, and that is that was his record Into the Game that got him popping was the Ditty by Paperboy.
Now it was 92. Oh shit.
Yeah. Kind of stuff Netflix pays millions of dollars to make a documentary on and share with the world. That's crazy.
His stories that he could give you on Pop, on Eazy is crazy. So the reason why it's funny that he produced for Death Row was because he then produced
for Eazy
the Death Row diss song.
Yo, yeah, that's crazy. Exactly.
Yeah, so after producing on Death Row and stuff like that, he left and started producing for Eazy-E with Ruthless. So he became Ruthless main producer.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
What a resume.
Yeah. That's you incredible. Leave Death Row and then produce a song against where you just left. So I give him shit for that. I'm like, bro, you flopping ass. You gonna go somewhere else then produce the biggest record like against where you just left from. But
real quick. So speaking on that, I mean, did he have any threats? I mean, do you know if anything came about that? Because that had to be a big deal back then.
Yeah. So to be honest, when we talked about it, I'm like, bro, like. But the way he left, I don't think he left in a manner where it was like, fuck him. Because he ended up still working with Snoop Dogg later on and working with them, you know what I'm saying? And that diss record was aimed at Snoop, aimed at Dre and all of them. But
it's just business.
It's just business.
You're only 60 pounds when you're wet wearing boots.
Right. Exactly.
Dude,
so I would let him tell that story. But for real, it's like he was a huge influence. So that's why we didn't see him a lot at the family reunions and shit because he was really working.
Man.
Wow.
I mean, it's just in your blood, man.
Yeah, man.
What
I got
a
lucky.
pedigree for you to
got
come
lucky.
from that, dude. I mean, and no wonder you started at 4.
Well, I didn't get to take advantage of it till later on in life.
Got it.
But that would have been the seed, though.
But the thing is about my cousin, which why I really rock with him, is he doesn't rock with me because we're family. So that's why we never connected like on that level that we did. We connected later on because we didn't connect until I was fucking ready.
Right.
Like until he thought like
was
I
real.
was. You get what I'm saying? Because
That's
there's
cool.
so many people in our family like, I rap.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, shit, get out of
Right.
here. But my cousin, my other cousin, her name's April. She would see me at our family reunion. I would perform my own music. So we have a little stage at our family reunions and we have talent shows. And I'll perform and she would hit my cousin up like, listen, Rhythm, like he's really that good. And so she would keep putting it into his ear that I was really talented. And then he finally was like, all right, I'll talk to him. And then that's kind of how it grew.
Man, that's awesome though, because you always hear about the stories where family gets involved and they start giving people jobs or duties that they shouldn't, and it just kind of falls apart from there. So
Yeah.
good to hear. You had to earn it.
Yeah, I had to. Like, he just wasn't, because he has a name and a brand. So, he's working with, Snoop and Battle Cats, like I said, one of his best friends, and he's producing for, and then he moved to Atlanta. He was producing for Bone Crusher. He lived in Atlanta for years.
Jared's a big Bone Crusher guy.
Yeah,
over
he
here.
produced a lot for Bone Crusher. Yeah, so he produced for for Atlanta artists too, because he was on the Atlanta wave early. So
Yeah.
he left to Atlanta like early 2000s. He was
Wow,
there.
right.
So he was there for
24 is on the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he lives in both places. So he's here in LA. Then and the dopest part about his house in LA, it's the same fucking. It's his mom's house.
Oh,
so
no
when he
way.
goes to LA, like when I
Right
go to
back to the
record with him,
roots. Same
I'm looking at all the vinyls, all the shit. I'm in the same place where he sat with Battle Cat and created real motherfucking G's from Eazy-E in that house.
In that same
So it's
house.
like you
Wow.
feel that, you know what I mean?
All right. So, before we get into the music, just a few more things we want to touch on that we learned about. You're big in the real estate game.
Yeah.
Okay. We understand the real estate game here, and we know the value of it and why it's so important. Talk to us how that's kind of evolved for you and help you kind of get to where you're at right now.
Yeah, man, I like to tell the story. For me, coming from Compton, ever getting to Arizona, my brother, he played for ASU. He was actually
Football?
What sport?
Yeah, football.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was actually
We're Sun Devils right here.
Yeah, you
so.
Sun Devils. Yeah.
We're
So he
both-
went,
both
Drew,
Sun Devils. Yep.
Drew's an automatic Sun Devil.
Yeah, I'm an honorary member. Yeah.
So I got a story for y'all about Arizona stuff. I'll tell y'all too. I'll drop it because a lot of people don't know this. And I'll tell y'all.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive. But my brother played for ASU. He's actually top 1, top 2 running back in the state of California. He was him. He had 7 touchdowns in the game. Like he was on the
7?
front. Yeah, he
That's
was on the front of
7?
newspapers every weekend.
Yeah, with 7
There's
tutties, I believe.
was
greatness
him.
in your family.
Yeah, he was him.
Yeah.
He was Ricky from Boys in the
Yeah,
Hood.
from Boys in the Hood.
Yes, he was the golden ticket, right? He was
Yeah.
Willy Wonka for sure. So he was going to ASU, and I was in Compton, and it was a hot summer. That's what we call a hot summer. When we say hot summer, it was people get killed. Like it was somebody get shot every week, like every other day. It was crazy. So my pops, he ended up going to jail. My dad went to jail, so at that time it was just me and my mom. My brother was at ASU. So what kind of was like this is the final straw was my mom was talking to her friend. She hasn't seen her friend in like 10 years, and she went to high school with him. She's down on the corner talking to him, her and her sister talking to her friend. And then as soon as she finished talking to him, she starts walking back to the house. Start walking back to the house. He gets shot like 20 times. Like while as she's walking back to the house. He survived, which is crazy. I know, right? It's crazy to even think of, but he
Got
survived.
50 Cent beat on
Right,
on that
exactly.
one. Yeah, that's crazy.
So he survived. So I would say probably was a bad shot. Like if you get shot 20 times, right?
or is it 22?
You know, something's not right with that story. But my brother calls. He's like, no, like I got, dad's not there. I need y'all. Like I can't have my little brother like come out here, stay with me. I think it's this time he's like a junior, so he already has his own apartment, stuff like that. He's like, come out here, stay with me. Like I need my brother out. You know me, I'm from Compton. I'm like, hell no, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Mind you, my brother's 6'6", 225, all muscle. Like
Right.
he's
Perfect running back build.
Perfect running back build.
That's like that
Yes.
quintessential like
Exactly.
running back says.
And I'm 5'8". I didn't get the height. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's a lot bigger than me. He's like,
So get
listen,
your
I'm
ass
gonna have
down
to get your ass down here. I'm gonna fucking drive down there and I'm gonna make you come.
Oh wow.
So I was like, okay, I'm picking my battles wisely. I'm like, this is not a battle I'm gonna win.
He's got 100 pounds
Right?
on me right
You
now.
got me easy. So I leave and I come to Arizona. But it's the best thing that ever happened to me because, you know, when I was living in Compton, you know, it was like music and that's it. Or, you know, this is the only way out, this is the only thing. But when I got here, or it's like gang banging was so, you know, like all my friends banged and, you know, my uncles, everybody I looked up to. So that's what I was falling into because that's what I knew. You know what I'm saying? When I got to Arizona, it wasn't like that. Of course, there's gangs and stuff like that here. But at that time, it wasn't like how it was in Cali. It was like, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
Arizona
Compton's
came a little
legendary.
later on. But, you know, at that time, it wasn't like that. So, like, I start going to LA Fitness or 24-hour Fitness, I think it was called at the time. I started going there hooping all the time and just meeting people playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I met a guy that was working, doing phone stuff, and then I started getting on the phones, and then I was like, man, I'm natural at selling. Like, I can talk.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
natural. Like, it's just, I didn't know. Like, a lot of people, you don't know you have these skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until, you know, you're like, oh, shit, this is all it takes. Like,
Yep.
A lot of people didn't tear up an auditorium
You know
in
what I'm
school
saying?
with a bad mic, dude.
Right?
We know what the tech troubles bring. That can throw you off, dude.
Yeah.
So I start, you know, learning how to sell and stuff like that. And then one of my guys, one of my boys, shout out to my boy Nick Maffey, shout out my boy Dom, them two, they was like, hey, we going into mortgages. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know. He's like, bro, you can sell it. Like, I don't know much about mortgage, but I can sell the shit.
You know how bad people want homes?
You get what I'm saying? Like, we can
Right.
sell it. So we had to go take the test, like do the test, all that stuff, pass the test, all that, get on the phones. And then I just start learning. Then I start just knocking it out. And then at that point, I was like, okay, if I can take all the rappers talk about, I was sleeping on the couch, I was homeless. But a lot of rappers never talk about, hey, I was doing good. I was doing well for myself. I had my own money.
I had insurance.
I put my own money into myself. If I die, I don't need to GoFundMe. Like, I you know, a lot of rappers are not talking about this.
Right.
So I took that information, and when I got into mortgages, like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this money and start putting it into myself. So the real estate game has kind of changed my life because it allows me to put the money back into myself, and it allows me a different story than your average rapper. I'm not talking about how I just don't have nothing. I'm talking about how I came from nothing, got to something, and now I'm putting it into something that I really love. So my message is a little bit different, but a lot of times they try to make having a job and shit like that corny.
Correct.
Dude,
Yeah.
you see
know
that
what I
in
mean?
so many spaces. So I'm a huge YouTube guy. I watch that more than any other streaming platform. And so I watch all the podcasts, all the self-help, all the motivation, whatever you want to call those guys. And it's funny because the ones that resonate with me are the ones that there's those guys out there that are like, quit your job, do everything, go all in. And it's not just about music, whatever it is, business, anything like that. It's like there's an alternative path out
100%.
there where you have a lot more security. Sure, maybe you don't start Facebook.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone's going to do that anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But it's like, it's nice to show people that you don't have to just go out. Because I think young people that want to get into that or whatever it is, they can be misguided and take one idea from it. And it's like, well, yeah, you have to have a career. You have to have da-da-da-da. But they hear that and they just like, okay, well, I'm going to just not go to school. I'm not going to go do this. I'm going to go all in on music. And it's like, no, it's good to be balanced as well. Doesn't mean that that's a bad path,
100%.
but having some balance there, having a little security, you get to create from a completely different place.
100%. And I like one of the things you guys said in my intro, how I've been moving around, like, you know, my brand looks a certain way. That's because of the business aspect that I've been in the corporate world. Since I've been in the corporate world, like, I've learned, like, it's just like the music business. Like, there's certain levels, and they talk about it in sports all the time. Like, a lot of times these players never sit in the office with the owner.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
They talk to this guy, which is their direct boss, their coach. Then the coach talks to this guy, which is
defensive end coach.
You know what I mean? And then they talk to him,
Yeah.
who then talks to the owner, right? So, like, you learn that in the corporate world.
Yep.
So a lot of times, you know, they don't talk about this kind of stuff. My biggest thing in life, and I'll tell you that I want, and it will happen one day, is I want to be in LA or any place. I want to have a show and then the next day I want to open up for the ET the hip hop preacher and then talk to people.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Like I
okay.
want to rap and then I want to motivate too.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So I want
That's
to
awesome.
I want to rap and then talk to the youth, talk to the kids, but like talk like, hey, I want to talk to you about credit. Why the fuck can I buy this house and my mortgage payment is $2,200, but this guy has the same house that costs the same amount and his mortgage payment's $3,500? I want to talk to you about why that is.
Yeah.
Man.
And those kids are not listening to that fucking guy that comes in, but they'll listen to a rapper that comes in and talks to him about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But that's like one of my goals is I want to be that fucking guy.
So you're telling me you want to teach them practical things, not like what a dodecahedron is, or Pythagorean's theorem, or
Exactly.
all that.
Shit
Yeah.
you can actually
You need
use.
to know that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
once you get the algebra 2 and shit, like
Come on.
you
What
don't
are we
really
doing?
Still
it's like-
using that
Right.
today.
like come on.
When have you seen an X4 on anything
Right.
other than a BMW and there's no math involved with that?
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And their kids don't know, and I was one. I didn't know shit about credit. I just heard my mom say, "Shit, I can't pay for it. Put it on my credit." And so soon I got of age, hey, I can't pay for that shit. Put it on my credit because you just follow with your parents and what they teach you.
Yep.
So once I got into mortgages and start understanding, like I'm talking to people every day about their credit, and I'm talking to them about why you're not approved for this house, but don't worry. This you can be
There's a
approved.
path.
There's
Yeah.
a path.
Yep.
So when I start learning all of that shit, then my life changed. I start thinking way more practical, and I start really understanding how this fucking United States really works.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's to answer your question. That's how real estate kind of shaped me and where the path of my career and where it's going.
That's
The
awesome.
man outside the matrix here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that sounds like. Man, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Shit, I'm gonna have to give my.
Wow. That was
Man,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
wanna say
I get a
that
round of
was
applause.
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
dude, that was
10,
that was great.
10 times
dude.
more than I thought we were gonna get out
Same.
of that beginning, man. That was crazy.
No, that's motivating, man, and that's
Thank you.
and the fact that you have a long-term plan with it says a lot, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
For reals. See, I like to surprise people when they're like, "Oh, okay, shit, this interview went somewhere different." That's what I like.
Well, see, and again, like we don't want people to come on our show and tell us who you are. No,
Yeah.
we hear things. We want to confirm and or learn the backstories because that's what drives us to do this type of shit.
We hear about
you know?
DJ
Right.
Quick hopping out and
Yeah.
getting on top
Come
of
on,
a van,
man.
turning,
Yeah.
turning the neighborhood up.
Cousin
dude.
going
Come
from
on.
Death Row to Eazy-E's
Yeah.
team. That's crazy.
Going from Sink on Sink back to the Vava. If you know, you know.
Exactly.